Ta-da!
Who's there? Connecting rod. That's good.
K24a2 out of a 2008 TSX. So what does that mean? This is the most desirable K24, you could say. Before we dig into this video, I just want to let you guys know that the best way for any of you to support and help with this whole project, I'm sure you guys are sick of hearing it from all the other channels, but anybody who's been here for a while knows that I really never ask people to like and comment on stuff, but this isn't exactly a cheap series of videos to make, so I don't care if you subscribe or not. Obviously that helps too, but whenever somebody has said, oh yeah, make sure you guys subscribe, that's never really made me want to subscribe to their channel any more than their content. So liking, commenting helps the algorithm. It helps the videos get exposed to other new people. You know, more views and watch time really helps the channel out. Like I said, if you guys want to support in any way, shape, or form, the best way is to really like and comment and help the video stay active per se. So the fact that it's out of a TSX and not a CRV, it's a performance motor, even though, you know, the TSX isn't exactly a performance car. It doesn't get the economy version of the K24, which you'll find in the CRV and pilots and stuff. I forget what else they come in. But also the fact that it's a 2008 motor, it's got the bigger valves and I think better valve springs. I think better stuff in the block between the rods and I don't think the crank. But anyways, this is the more desirable if you have the chance to get it. 06 to 08 K24A2s. Those are the ones you want. So this is the motor that's going to be going in the Rabbit. I went and picked it up from JDM Engine Incorporated or something, which is in Clifton, New Jersey. The other company is JDM Engine Depot, and they're in a different city in New Jersey, so whichever one you go with, just know that the one I went to is the one in Clifton, New Jersey, and they seem to have a better deal. JDM Engine Depot wanted $1,200 for the same motor. Upon further research, saw that they were the more expensive option. You know, they wanted $1,200 for basically the same motor. I don't even know if they had the same 06 to 08 that I was looking for. It seemed like they were forcing you to buy stuff you didn't need, and basically that's the transmission. From what I put together, these motors are typically imported or yanked out of cars that have automatic transmissions on them. So when I showed up to the place I got this one from, all of them had automatic transmissions on them, and it seemed like JDM Engine Depot was basically forcing you to buy the motor with the transmission. Whereas when I went to pick this one up, once I picked it out, he took it off, took it out of the pile, pulled off to the side, and started taking the transmission off right away. And this one cost me $950. Originally it would have been $1,000 plus tax, but after tax it was $950, because as you can see here, this bolt snapped off as he was removing everything. You know, I hear it snap, and then he looks up at me and says, oh, well, we gotta pick another motor for you. And before I can even get a chance to get upset and say I'd rather not, he says, you know what, I'll give you $100 off of this one if you take it as is. And I was totally okay with that. I was honestly just going to take this motor anyways. The other motors weren't as clean. I mean, this is a little dirty right now, but I can't get over how clean this motor is otherwise. Like I said, if you're shopping around, just know that JDM Engine Depot wasn't the cheapest for me. The other options were buying private through whatever idiots, and that was a nightmare in and of itself, so don't even get me started on that. I don't even know where I'm going with this. Oh yeah, so JDM Engine Depot wanted $1,200. Seemed like they were going to force me to buy the transmission, and on top of that, it only came with a 1-month warranty from them. This one has a 3-month warranty, which should be just about perfect for me getting this thing running on the ground and doing a compression test. Because although I asked about compression testing these motors, And the guy saying, yeah, of course. I mean, come on. I don't actually expect them to have the time to compression test every motor. But what's important is the fact that we've got a 3-month warranty on this motor. I should have the ECU and wiring harness by the end of this month. So, sorry to go blabbering on and on. I mean, I figured it's better to put in too much info than not enough for you guys, because this is a huge learning experience for me. It's a whole new platform. I haven't been excited about Mark 1s like this in a long time, so whatever. I'm going to spill my heart out. I mean, just the fact that I was able to walk into a warehouse and pick from any which 9 of these. I mean, they had a couple hundred motors in that place, it seemed, and they had about 6 or 7 of these. So to be able to walk into a place and just pick which motor I want like that after work is a game changer to me. And sure, these motors are going to be hard to find within the next decade or two, just like anything else. Let's compare it to Volkswagen right now, though. Where's there a warehouse where you could walk in and find any mid-2000s Volkswagen motor and have 8 to choose from? You just can't. Not to say that, you know, the cost is why I'm wanting to do this, because as I'm also learning, this is very expensive. I mean, I kind of knew they were expensive. I'm just actually learning exactly how expensive this is. So those that, you know, you'll hear the whole thing, oh yeah, Honda motors are nice and cheap, or a K-swap is great because of how cheap it is to get into it, or you know, people just automatically assume, oh, Honda cheap, fast, go. It's not the case. Cost of entry is definitely not the selling point here, but the fact that I could walk in and just pick a motor right off the shelf definitely is. By the way, ton of 8-valve stuff that I have for sale. I don't know if I'm really going to post it yet. This is a 020 with a limited slip differential. We've got a pretty hopped up 8-valve over there with carburetors to go with it. It's going to take me a couple weeks to really post this stuff for sale, but if there's anything in particular you're looking for and want to get a jump out on it, hit me up on Instagram at the rabbit hole, at dog pizza, either one of those. Send me a message and I'll send you more information about what I do or don't have. I have cams, all sorts of good stuff, blocks, heads. Reach out to me, which also I'm going to be much more active on the rabbit hole Instagram account. You'll see more day-to-day updates about me going and getting parts for this whole ordeal. If you guys want to see more day-to-day stuff, follow me on there. I'll definitely be a lot more active on there. My friend's got a sweet Audi for sale right now that I just shared on there. So as another tool and outlet / resource for all things Mark 1, I'd recommend giving the YouTube account a follow on Instagram. Again, that's at the rabbit hole. A couple underscores and stuff in there, but it's the only one on there. I'll also be bringing the majority of my stuff to Mark 1 Madness to unload. A lot of stuff I'll be basically giving away just to get it out of my hair. There's a couple of nice things I have that I'm going to want to get some decent money for, but give me a shout. Got to deal with that broken bolt first, and I need to get a replacement bolt for that. So we're going to go to weld this washer on, then weld this nut on. So once you finish slapping on your pigeon poop welds, go ahead and proceed to break off that bolt you just welded on. So after you've made 3 attempts of welding a nut on and proceeding to snap it off all 3 times, bust out your drill bits and start drilling it out. Hardcore mode. Break your drill bit off in the process. I just want to stop while I'm stripping this motor down and talk about how much better, like, the fact that this whole harness so far is coming off in one piece, and it's taking me literally no time at all to figure out how to take it off. It speaks volumes about how much fucking worse German stuff can be to work on. What really makes me laugh though is that none of these clips are breaking. Everything can go right back on if I wanted it to. All clips intact. Now, the purse works on all makes and models, guys. I just want to be clear. This is not Volkswagen or Mark 1 specific tool. See, works just fine on all makes and models. This is basically the motor stripped down more or less. We're not really gonna tear it down any further for now. I don't want to get too far ahead and blow the budget way out of the water. If the budget allows for it, then yes, we will be tearing open the timing chain cover and doing a couple of goodies involved with that. If you guys are any Honda people watching this, you guys already know what I'm talking about. We'll get into that in a whole separate video. We're going to dedicate a video strictly to the performance stuff that I'm going to be doing on this. This video in particular is just showing you guys the motor, getting it stripped down. The exhaust manifold's still on there. It's late. I got work tomorrow, so I'm not tearing that off yet. But basically the motor's stripped down. We took the intake manifold off for a few reasons. Like I said, we're not really going to get too much into the performance stuff in this video. This intake manifold is massive. It's not great for performance, but more importantly, this throttle body is also not going to work for us. From what I'm reading, K Pro will not work with drive-by-wire, which is what the TSX comes with. So basically, the TSX intake manifold and throttle body are more or less nothing that we need or want. Doing a whole lot of research the last week. Stuff like that, throttle body not being compatible, stuff like that. There's so much to learn, but overall these motors still are very simple. So I'm gonna forget stuff as we go throughout the process. I'm gonna do this as step by step as I can, even though like my videos aren't really super organized and might not be easy to follow along with at times. I will do my best to go step by step throughout this whole process, everything I learn. There's some stuff with the wire harness, even though it's plug and play, there's a few things to change around with that to make it all work on the K24. But like I said, if I miss stuff, I know towards the end, once everything's in the car and it's running and driving, we will stop and make a dedicated video just pointing out every little thing that I had to find out or research about, or every little kind of hang up I ran into. We're also going to do another video strictly on how much this all costs. I've only really bought 4 components and I'm already up over $2,300. It's not going to be cheap, but it is going to be worth it. So stay tuned, guys. Thanks for watching.